turn.
Hi guys, Andrew, if I can start with you, that's okay. And your memories, first of all, of the reverse fixture, if you like, the game against Portugal in Power.
Sorry, say that again?
Your memories of the game against Portugal.
Oh yeah, yeah, it was crazy. Obviously making my debut and to make my debut against the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, obviously the world's best players ever. You know, Fernandes, all these quality players, and to make it out there, and obviously the result is not what we wanted, but just to be out there and battle with the boys it was great.
And you weren't overawed by the occasion or the quality of the player you were up against?
No, I wasn't.
So since then, you've become almost an ever-present in the Ireland team. The last few games you're in, and you seem to have grabbed the opportunity with both hands.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just football. Really, you get opportunities, and you just need to kind of be ready to take them. And obviously, with the international, it's a privilege to play for my country and stuff. So when I get my opportunity, I'll just always give them 100% towards it.
And for Norwich as well, been getting in.
Yeah, so I played just 2 games after. We obviously got a win against Brentford there on Saturday. So yeah, hopefully we can continue.
And how important is it to finish this campaign strongly?
Well, it's massive. I think there's a lot of excitement around the team now, and to be shown in the last couple of games there, we're coming together, and we've got a couple of good results. We're scoring more goals than we have been. So yeah, it's an exciting time.
Thank you.
Can I have it?
Hi Will, can you talk us through your journey to being called up into the Ireland squad, please?
Yeah, so it actually first came on the radar quite a few years ago under Mick McCarthy. That was when I actually declared for Ireland. I think he was sort of considering me for selection then, so quite a few years ago now. And then I think just since the start of the season, the manager's been coming to the games and watching. So with James also obviously being a regular, I think he'd maybe had a couple of discussions with the manager as well, and yeah, he just obviously kept an eye on me, and I was delighted to be included in the recent squad. That was a great experience, and yeah, just looking forward to more.
And what was it that sort of convinced you to declare for Ireland?
Well, my dad's Irish. He was actually born in Sligo. He was sort of raised there, and then he was actually an orphan. He went to boarding school in Dublin, and then he was adopted, and he moved to England when he was 10. So I think when I was a younger lad at the time, obviously I was approached by England first, so played sort of in the youth age groups there, and that was just, obviously I was living there, that seemed to be the thing to do at the time, and obviously then further down the line when I got the opportunity to come here, it was something that I really wanted to do. Unfortunately my dad's kind of lost touch with his roots for obvious reasons, with sort of being given away as a child, but to sort of reconnect with that and have the opportunity to represent Ireland is a massive honour and something that I'm really proud of doing.
Sorry, did you say he's died or he's still alive?
No, he's still alive.
He's still alive?
Yeah.
So how proud is he?
Yeah, massively, yeah. Like I said, because of the circumstances, he hasn't sort of stayed in touch with his family, so for me to be able to represent Ireland and sort of, for him, obviously growing up, he lost touch with it, so sort of reconnect with that is a massive thing, and he's really proud, and for me to give him that, yeah, obviously gives me a lot of pleasure.
Andrew, can I just pick up on thanks for that, Will, another topic? Obviously you lost your manager on Saturday straight after the match. Can you just tell us how you found out, when you found out?
It was just after the game, obviously. Obviously got the win and stuff, so it was a bit of mixed emotions, obviously going through the boys, and what he's done for the club it's just amazing. I don't think I need to go through what he's done in the last 4.5 years he was here, and personally he's been great. He's been obviously giving my debut and kind of put me in the window, obviously to be here for international, kind of gave me that stage. He was trusting me to play in big games in the crunch time of the last season in the championship, and he's trusted me to give me a couple of appearances this season, so I'll be forever grateful for it.
Who actually told you that he had gone?
Sorry?
Who told you that he had gone?
I was just around the club. We just knew when we got back to the training ground. That's when it was announced to us.
So you haven't been able to speak to him, or have you?
Yeah. We've all spoken to the boss individually.
And as you said, it came as a shock to all in the squad.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, we had a lot of faith in him, and obviously we've all been working with him for a while now, and we're all very close to him. But it's kind of the nature of the game, it's football.
Thank you very much.
Paul?
Excellent. Hi lads. Andrew, quick one to start. How do you stop Ronaldo?
I don't think there's a set way to stop Ronaldo. I think obviously we give respect where respect's due. He's obviously the best player in the world, but at the end of the day, it's 11v11 on the pitch, and we're all human. So I think it's just going to depend on the day.
Yeah, if you keep him quiet though, do you go a long way towards getting results against Portugal? Would you say that?
I think the Portuguese have a lot of good players. They have quality players all around the pitch. So yeah, it would definitely help massively.
Cheers.
Damien?
Just one answer, please. Ireland's have a tradition of very strong central defenders. Who would you have admired growing up? Who would be your heroes of me?
In the Ireland setup or in general?
Well, first, I
think my main idol would be Rio Ferdinand. That was back when I was growing up, and as I started to kind of get older, watching the Van Dijks and stuff, kind of turn into the world's best and stuff. So I kind of like to watch a lot of players in my position from different leagues, different countries and stuff, and trying to kind of just nitpick from their games and maybe some that I play similar to, so I can kind of bring it into my game and stuff like that.
Who would you have taken most from, anything particularly taken from it?
I think stay with Rio Ferdinand. I think he's my favourite, and he still is. Even what he's doing after his career and stuff is it's just good to see.
Ed?
Well, how you doing? So just to bring it back, obviously your dad obviously had a hard child, and in terms of, I'm just wondering, did he sort of stay out of your decisions as younger in terms of not pushing to play for Ireland or anything because of his own experiences? And can you give me an idea of like what, has the last few years, is it almost like a family voyage of rediscovery almost, in that sense of reconnection? And would that be any way, of what's happening, or would you just sort of give us an insight?
Yeah, I mean, when I was a young lad, I was kind of approached by England at first. That was just kind of the option that was there on the table, and that's what I did at the time. My dad didn't really have much input into that, and no, like at the end of the day, it's my decision. Obviously, he respects what I do, and when I first heard of the opportunity to play for Ireland, that was the decision I made. Obviously, that I wanted to focus on that, and that was my ambition to try and get around the squad. So it's not obviously. It's nice that he can obviously reconnect with his birthplace and stuff, but no, I mean, for me, it's the opportunity to represent the country and just give everything I've got.
Cheers. And Andrew, I wanted to ask you about breaking into the Norwich squad, into the first team, and trying to establish yourself. Obviously, a team that's struggling in terms of league position. Is it harder for you then to come in and cement your place? Because you might only get one shot. When a team is trying to really consolidate, get the win, get the momentum going. Was that tough? And I suppose you've come in and you've taken the chance. And you must feel really good about your position there now, do you?
Yeah, I think it's a position for any young player. Obviously, we haven't had the best of luck with results, but I think as a young player, it wouldn't really matter if your team was winning or if you're struggling. If you got the chance, you'd try to give 100%, because at this stage in my career, I'm still trying to obviously establish myself, and wherever I go, if it's even at the international level, if I play games and stuff like that, even if it's back-to-back games, I'm still have that mentality of like I need to still solidify my position.
Well, hey, how's things? Well, did you feel anyway nervous coming into the squad first last month, just with your background and taking you a while to declare? And look, would you look at someone like Callum Robinson as a good example to follow? He played underage for England, but he's now very much a big part of the Irish team.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Callum's a perfect example. Obviously, he's got English background, roots, and chose to play for Ireland, and I think there's been a few previously as well. But I think, like you said, first squad maybe a little bit tentative, and especially coming with someone like James McLean from Wigan, who has obviously got great experience. But like he said to me, that I'll settle into the camp and I'll be made to feel welcome regardless, and it felt like that. And obviously, like everyone else, I'm just wanting to do whatever I can and contribute towards the same goals, and yeah, just looking to give my all, and obviously, and represent the island in the best way that I can.
This is one of the questions I was going to ask you. I know you were at Manchester United from the age of 11. I know you were in a very young underage side, but would you have seen Ronaldo around the place then? Would he have been someone that you would have?
I think he actually left the summer that I was like a scholar, so just as I was become full time, he left that summer, went to Madrid, so just missed out, unfortunately.
Yeah, but would you have gone to watch as a fan?
Yeah, well, I've been to watch him, as a young lad, going to obviously to Old Trafford, and yeah, obviously, for growing up as a United fan, that time, and obviously the club was massively successful, he was such a big part of that, so yeah, definitely sort of an icon in my eyes, yeah.
Owen?
Well, have you spoken much about the possibility of facing him someday in international football?
We sort of joked about it a little bit, not had, just brief discussion. So he's not been involved as much with England recently, but yeah, who knows? I mean, hopefully we can finish this campaign strong, and I think then we've obviously got the Nations League to look forward to next summer, and if we can keep building, and hopefully, yeah, we'll either get them in another qualified group or get to a tournament and maybe meet them there.
Did he give you any advice when you were making your mind up to get there?
No, not really. Didn't really have any input on it. So he represented Ireland when he was a young lad and sort of went the other way. But no, it was my decision. Obviously, he respects that and supports it. Cheers.
John?
Yes, just on that, Will, sorry, like Michael came and played for us, I think, under 17 first. So was it a case that England, when they came, just came for you, and his first call was Ireland, or what?
I think that actually was the case. When I first started playing for England, he wasn't involved in the setup, and his opportunity was to go and play for Ireland, and that was his first approach from the national setup, and he took that, and yeah, it was kind of like the way it panned out. It's been vice versa, just sort of different ends. So yeah, it's just the way it's gone.
And like, were you comparing notes at that stage, if you were going off on the international breaks to one and he was going to another, like, was it?
No, not really. Just both doing our own thing and getting on with it, really. Obviously, it's just great to play on the international setup, and yeah, we both took different paths, but like I said, just getting on with it and giving what we got.
Just to look back in that thing, I think around that time, about 10 years ago, there was some speculation that we might follow Michael's example and declare for us. Was that ever a possibility at the time?
It never really came up at the time, to be honest, or I wasn't really made aware of it. When I was a young lad, I was obviously playing for England, and that's all I'd heard about, so I just sort of continued that.
Andrew, the last few weeks you've come into the Irish team, played quite a bit of football. You're probably playing against Leeds 2 weeks ago. You probably played against a player who's probably on the way up, maybe someday to be like Ronaldo, and not too far off in Keane. What's that like?
It's good. Obviously, that's the state level. I want to be playing at week in, week out. So to be playing against those players at such an early part of my career, it's just going to benefit me. Obviously, it was a good test. Obviously, I scored that day and stuff. I was at home as well, so it was disappointing about the result. But overall, it was a good experience, a good test.
Andrew, just going back to the Portugal game in September. You spoke about it briefly earlier on. Like, what was going through your head in the 89th minute when you're 1-0 up, dream debut stuff, and then what's going through your head 3 minutes later, 4 minutes later?
I think when we were 1-0 up and the game was nearly over, obviously you can hear the experienced lads getting around each other, and there was just, you kind of get that feeling of when's the whistle going to blow, but you still need to be focused in, because obviously, as we've seen, the game can just change like that. And after, obviously, when the final whistle blew, it was just kind of disappointment. And but there's a lot of positive we can take from that game, that we held them up for that long, and it was just that 3 minutes of football that can just change the whole game.
I appreciate you're living over in England, but do you get any sense of recognition when you come back home now? Are you people sort of recognising you? People know who you are?
Definitely from Leeds, my hometown. Yeah, so. Yeah, when I go back there, I try to do a couple of things with my old club, Leeds United, because at the end of the day, I was in their shoes as well, so I try to help out there around there, my community as well. So.
Philip?
Thanks, Kieran. I'm just checking here, Will, I don't think Anthony Barry was at Wigan when you were there, was that right?
No.
He just left.
He left, yeah.
Yeah. Just James McLean there, a little word about him.
Yeah.
You're very welcome here, so good to have you in the senior setup. Didn't get a chance to talk to you last month, but just a little bit word of James McLean as an enthusiasm. Obviously, he put a word in for you type thing. You said that earlier. When you see him and his passion for Ireland, you get a sense of how much important it is for him. Can you just tell us a little about your relationship with him? And
yeah, of course. Yeah.
For you?
Obviously, James, you don't probably get much more patriotic than him. He's obviously he lives and breathes Ireland, and I think he's a great professional as well. Personally, obviously having him come into Wigan, he sort of sets his standards high, and other people sort of follow that. So he's a great person to have around the place. And yeah, I think when he first knew that the manager was looking at me, he was telling me what a great experience it would be to obviously represent the country and how much it means to him, and that only obviously made me want to try and achieve that even more. And I think coming into the camp with him definitely probably helped me settle in a little bit quicker. And yeah, I mean, he's a great example of someone that has achieved so much for the national team, and just obviously sort of respect that. And yeah, really, well, I'm sure all the players want to achieve that and try and get as many caps as what he's got.
And just a final one on that. I know Robbie Grady and you were quite pally. Robbie's not in the squad. He's back playing now. He's at Bournemouth. He's starting to get back again. Maybe you and him might cross the white line, wear the blue jersey someday. Hopefully,
yeah. A few years ago now, I played with Robbie sort of the youth days at United, but a great lad, and it's obviously great to see him back fit and get sorted out at Bournemouth. And I'm sure obviously when he gets playing there, he's got great quality, and hopefully if he keeps fit, he can obviously get himself back around the setup as well, because he's obviously got a lot to sort of add to the group.
Thank you.
Any further questions, guys? One more? Okay.
Andrew, Paul McGrath was one of the guys who was on social media praising you after, I think it was the Arsenal game. Did you see that, and what's it mean when an Irish legend like that is giving you such praise publicly?
Oh, it was great. I got, obviously after the game, I think my mum sent it to me actually. But yeah, it's great to get a bit of recognition off one of Ireland's legends and player that's done so much in the Premier League and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it just gives you that little like a tap on the back, bit of recognition, but and it gives you that extra bit of motivation because you feel like people are starting to kind of recognise your talent and stuff like that. So it makes you want to work harder. So it was good. It was good.
He's a bit before your time. Have you ever seen any videos of him in his prime?
Yeah, as you said, it was a bit before my time, so no, I haven't seen any videos.
We'll have one final question from Gavin in the back.
Well, I just wanted to check, is your dad going to make it over to the match?
Not sure yet. Hopefully, they came to the one last the Qatar home game, so obviously waiting to get confirmation, but I hope so.
Okay, thanks.